Hey everyone, James Baek here, and it's time for some more VGC 2015 battles from the Doubles Battle Spot ladder. Today's team, I actually did build a team for this series with Mawa Hydreigon, Thunderous Incarnate, not Varian, Ludicolo, Entei, and Mamoswine. So this team will revolve around Tailwind Mega Mawile, which is actually something new to me. I'm trying Tailwind Mega Mawile out to see if I like it or not. I wasn't really that big of a fan because I love Mawile's bulk, but might as well try Tailwind, so we're going to find two battles and see how we do. Okay, our first opponent today will be Paul Chua from the United States, New Jersey, 1856 rating. Me and Paul are actually friends, and he's actually one of my rivals, so this should be interesting. As we see his rain team of Politoed, Ludicolo, Mawa, Hydreigon, Thunderous, and Terrakion. We're actually using three of the same Pokemon in not Politoed. Mawa, Hydreigon, and Thunderous. So this should be definitely interesting. Paul, he has dominated the Battle Spot ladder, and he's been a player who's been able to reach the 2,000 goals in last year's season, so this will definitely be interesting. Me and Paul actually played at the regionals in 2014. It was fall regionals, and that was obviously when I was bad. We faced round 2, and Paul was one of the players who knocked me out. Let's see. From this team, I kind of like Mamoswine, but that rain mode, if I remember right, from his rain team, it was a Scarf Politoed. So that would be annoying to deal with. I would say Terrakion might want to lead here against my team. So I think I'm actually going to open up with Mawile and Ludicolo. Yeah, seems right. Thunderous and Mamoswine in the back. Yeah, it seems pretty good actually. It seems pretty solid. If I can get Thunderous out, it would be really nice as I can start paralyzing his fast Pokemon. Swift Swim, Ludicolo, his Scarf Politoed. Let's see who will lead. Politoed and Ludicolo will lead against his Mawa and Thunderous. So interesting leads we have. Obviously my Intimidate will go first because I am a Fast Mawile, as we both get the Intimidate off. I'm wondering who I should target. Mamoswine would have been a fantastic lead here. I kind of want to see if I can bring in Mamoswine here, actually. I'm thinking of fake outing the Mawa and going for the switch into Mamoswine. Paul might expect that. He could also Iron Head the Mawile. But you know what? I can't risk my Mawile getting paralyzed right now. So I'm just going to go for a safe play and fake out the Mawile and switch on to Mamoswine. This should work relatively well. No, it might not actually work, as Paul's actually going to withdraw Mawile, maybe predicting the switch on my part, and go into his own Ludicolo. Fantastic switch for him, as I do get chip damage on the Ludicolo, but it's not really mattering now. As we see the Thunder Wave into my Ludicolo slot, so obviously Paul wanted to slow down my Ludicolo, so his Politoed. Well, so he doesn't have to worry about fast Ludicolo and rain. Now, I just want to Icicle Crash his Ludicolo, to be honest. Would that be too risky? I would assume he switches out Thunderous into Politoed and goes for like a Scald or something. However, I don't really have much that could resist that, so I'm actually going to double target this Ludicolo here. As we see him Thunder Waving my Ludicolo slot, probably predicting a switch, one that I might not agree with, but I do get the Icicle Crash off onto his Ludicolo. Look at how much damage that did, wow. As his Ludicolo gets the Scald off onto my Mamoswine, this should KO? Yes, it will. However, I do get to KO his Ludicolo in return, hopefully if I can move. Nope. Game. Gonna send out my Thunderous here. And right here, I can just Thunderbolt his Ludicolo and go for the Ice Beam onto his Thunderous. As Thunderous is going to go for the taunt onto my Thunderous, I didn't want to risk speed ties of going for my own taunt, and I kind of just wanted his Ludicolo out of the way. I can also get some damage off onto his Pokemon this way. So I do get the Ice Beam off onto his Thundurus. This should do a decent amount. Of course, that Thundurus actually, it did more than I expected, to be honest. As his Thundurus is going to heal with a Citrus Berry. Let's see who his next Pokemon will be. It's actually going to be Terrakion. Wow. I was not expecting Terrakion here. I'm thinking of switching out my Thundurus into Mawile. Only problem with that is if he Thunderbolts my Thundurus slot, my Mawile won't appreciate it. So I think I'm actually just going to go for the Thunderbolt and the Scald. No, I think I'm going to go for the Giga Drain onto his Terrakion. Terrakion, I'm going to go for Rock Slide. Oh, double avoid! Double avoid as we do see the Thunderbolt into the Thundurus. As I get a Thunderbolt off onto his Thundurus. And Ludicolo gets paralyzed, so I guess we do trade that. I do get to heal with leftovers though. We do reveal that Paul's Thundurus is faster than mine, and that's definitely an issue to consider. I do just want a Thunderbolt, and I'm actually going to go for the Scald onto Terrakion. As we see the Rock Slide, Ludicolo avoids another Rock Slide. That is huge for me, as Thundurus is actually going to be knocked out by that Rock Slide, unfortunately. As we see the Thunderbolt into the Ludicolo slot, which... Oh, Ludicolo gets paralyzed again. That's unfortunate. As I get to bring in Mawile here. This game looks like it's paused, to be honest, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I don't have much to stop rain teams. I'm going to protect Mawile. It's an obvious protect, but I kind of have to go for it. I think I'm going to Ice Beam this Thundurus. Yeah, there's not really much I can do. Paul might actually predict this and just go for the Close Combat Thunderbolt into my Ludicolo slot, but that's a risk I'm willing to take. As Mawile is going to protect here, let's see what Paul goes for. We see the Thunder Wave into the Mawile slot and the Rock Slide, so he's going for Para Flinch. And my Ludicolo's been paralyzed twice already, so hopefully he'll be able to pull through a critical hit. And actually, I do get to pull off the Ice Beam, which is really nice, and knock out the Thundurus. Okay, so I did bring this back to 2-2. Unfortunately, my Ludicolo is in a very dangerous position, as his Mawile actually gets to come in and get the Intimidate off onto my Mawile, which means my Mawile is pretty weak compared to his. I'm going to Iron Head his Terrakion and go for the Scald, I think, onto his Mawile. Paul's Mawile is going to Mega Evolve. It's going to gain huge power, and unfortunately, I think I lost this. I really don't think I can come back from this position, as Terrakion, I'm going to go for the Close Combat onto the Ludicolo, which is to be expected, to be honest, because he didn't want Rock Slide missing, as it missed twice already. And I do get the Iron Head and knock out this Terrakion, or maybe it's Focus Sash. No, it's a... Oh, it's Focus Sash. Wow, I wish I Thunder Waved the Terrakion slot. As we see the Iron Head into my Mawile. Wow. Honestly, there's no way I can win this, so I will forfeit to Paul. Good game by him. It definitely shows why he's one of the strongest players right now. And unfortunately, the full paras did cost me. I did get to avoid 3 Rock Slides, but I would have really liked to get an attack off onto that Terrakion, expecting a possible Focus Sash. So unfortunately, that will be a loss, but we'll see. Let's see what we can get in the next battle. Our next opponent of the day will be someone from South Korea, 1795 rating, and we are going to see the team of Kangaskhan, Sylveon, Bishop, Infernape, Landorus, and Talonflame. Weird, because I feel like I've seen this team before. We might have actually faced this player. Or I might have off camera, but I think this was featured on a team before. Obviously, we see standardness of Kangaskhan, Sylveon, Bisharp, Landorus, and Talonflame. Very common Pokemon in the metagame right now. Well, Sylveon's actually dying out lately, and I think it's actually grown a bit weaker because there's a lot of players who are expecting Hyper Voice have stuff to take care of Sylveon. The interesting thing about this team is two fire types. If I remember, this Talonflame had Will-O-Wisp. And Will-O-Wisp Talonflame is going to be annoying. Mamoswine does pretty well against this team. I do like Entei on this team. I think I'm going to go Entei, and I either want to lead Entei and Thundurus or Entei and Hydreigon. I think Entei and Hydreigon actually, with Mamoswine and Mawa in the back. I kind of leaning toward Thundurus, however, the possibility Infernape has Quick Guard is preventing me from bringing it. Plus, Thundurus gets walled by the Sylveon, to be honest, so that's why I'm not bringing it into this game. But we'll see how this goes. Not going to predict any leads. We're going to see Entei and Hydreigon lead for me, as my opponent will lead... I can't read Korean. Sylveon and Infernape. Oh, that's a bad lead for me, as I have a Hydreigon out, and we're probably going to see a Fake Out. I could just double protect here, which I think I am going to do. He's probably going to Fake Out the Entei and go for the Hyper Voice, and I'm wondering, can I lose Hydreigon? Do I go for the safe protect? I mean, Fake Out and Hyper Voice is really obvious right now. I'm wondering if I should just set up the Tailwind so my Mamoswine can sweep. You know what? Even if I can serve Hydreigon this turn, it's most likely going to be targeted by the Infernape by close combat next turn. So, really, I'm just going to go for a safe play. Entei's going to protect itself. We're going to see the Fake Out into the Entei slot as predicted. I'm going to get this Tailwind up, which is really nice. And we're going to see the Hyper Voice. And that's going to knock out my Hydreigon, no doubt about it. I'm wondering if I should put Focus Sash as the item of my Hydreigon instead of the Hopping Berry that I carry. However, I'm going to bring out my Mawile here because it is a fast Mawile. And it's going to get the Intimidate off onto this Infernape, which is nice for the Fighting type moves, and lower the Sylveon's attack. So here I'm going to Snarl and play rough the Infernape, I think. This Sylveon switching out is really obvious, which he is going to switch out. Let's see, I would say Talonflame, if he has Talonflame. Talonflame is going to come out. Okay, that's actually quite fine with me, as I do get a Snarl off, so I do weaken any potential overheats coming from that Talonflame. And I get the Snarl, which will connect with the Infernape and break its potential Focus Sash, most likely Focus Sash, and lowering the special attack of both these Pokemon, which might matter if they're mixed. As Play Rough, going to connect with the Infernape, and I will pick up the knockout. So honestly, that was perfect of a turn as it could have gotten, as I got some chip damage, lowered the special attack of this Talonflame, who I think is actually bulky anyway. We're probably going to see Kangaskhan come here, as we see the Kangaskhan. Okay, the obvious play is to Fake Out one of my Pokemon and probably set up his own Tailwind. I think I'm going to Will-O-Wisp the Kangaskhan and play rough his Kangaskhan as well. Yeah, I see that as a safe move. I know my Mawile's fast, especially in Tailwind, so I should be able to outspeed the Kangaskhan no problem. Even if it's Jolly Max Speed, my Mawile will outspeed. Let's see who he fakes out. Or maybe he has Protect. No, he goes for the Fake Out, probably onto Entei. No, onto Mawile. Okay, I'm fine with that, actually. I was actually thinking about switching out that slot, but unfortunately it did not work. Will-O-Wisp, gonna connect with the Kangaskhan, and that is huge as I get to burn this Kangaskhan. Let's see if the Talonflame went for Willow. Oh, it just went for the Flare Blitz onto Mawile. I kind of wish I protected there, to be honest. So it's going to knock out my Mawile due to it's a... Well, my Mawile is very, very speedy and not much in bulk. However, getting that burn on Kangaskhan is huge. Unfortunately, that Snarl didn't work out as the way I hoped it would. I will bring out Mamoswine here, though. And right here, I think I'm going to Sacred Fire the Kangaskhan and just go for the Icicle Crash. I could double target. You know what, I'm going to double target the Kangaskhan. Okay, Talonflame's actually going to switch out, which is actually quite ideal for me. Sacred Fire plus Icicle Crash with Life Orb should be able to KO, actually. Icicle Crash going to connect with this Kangaskhan, and it should do a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. This should be Sacred Fire range. And with Tail End, I should outspeed. Sacred Fire does connect with the Kangaskhan. That will pick up the knockout. Yep. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Unfortunately, Talon peters out. However, his Talonflame does have priority Brave Birds anyway. And the Sylveon's not going to outspeed my Entei. I'm going to Sacred Fire the Sylveon, and I think I'm going to Protect. Or do I just want to Icicle Crash? Nah, I'd rather go for a Safe Protect. Let's scout out what his Talonflame's going for. If it's going for like a Will-O-Wisp or maybe just a Brave Bird. Brave Bird going to connect with my Entei, which I'm fine with, to be honest. As Brave Bird, that did a lot more than I expected. Wow. I do get the Citrus Berry off, which is nice. Gonna heal my Entei quite a bit, and I do get the Sacred Fire off onto the Sylveon. Wow, that does a lot. And Hyper Voice. Wow, that almost knocks out my Entei. Wow. Here I'm gonna protect my Entei and Icicle Crash the Talonflame. Brave Bird shouldn't knock out my Mamoswine even if he decides to target it. Well, to be honest, I think I might actually have this game sealed up at this rate. No matter who he Brave Bird targets, if he targets into my Entei, he will pretty much lose his Sylveon unless he goes for Protect with Sylveon. Entei going to Protect, and I should live a Brave Bird from this Talonflame. As we see the Brave Bird into the Entei slot, place at the Icicle Crash. Pokemon, how I can hate you sometimes. And that's going to knock out my Mamoswine, so probably Choice Specs. If I hit that Icicle Crash, I would have won this game. Just because, as you saw, Sacred Fire did that much, and my Mamoswine would have definitely knocked it out. That was probably a silly play on my part, to be honest, since I could have just Earthquaked for the win. Unfortunately, I did not do that, which, now that I'm thinking about why didn't I just go for the Earthquake, but I pretty much screwed that up. And I'm pretty much going to have to forfeit here. Unfortunately, oh, that was so bad. Why didn't I just go for Earthquake? Oh well, live and learn. Just go for the safe play next time. Anyway, that will be a double loss, unfortunately. The first double loss we actually have had on this channel. But it does give us some lessons, especially about safe play, which I cannot stress so much about. Do not choke away your winning position. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this VGC episode. Be sure to give it a like if you did. Follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Be sure to check out the rest of my stuff too. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.